Hi, I'm Kimberly Allison with Starliner Music. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to continue with my series that deals with blues guitar rhythmic phrasing. First, I'll perform rhythm exercise in the key of E number 5, and then I'll break it down for you. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. In this exercise, we'll be playing a 12-bar blues. I've broken that 12 bars down into 6 2-bar phrases. Each 2-bar phrase will use the exact same rhythm. The rhythm is triplet 2 and triplet triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. In the first bar, we'll be playing lead guitar. In the second bar, we'll primarily be playing rhythm guitar. We will enter in bar 2 with the rhythm guitar pattern known as the Chuck Berry or Jimmy Reed pattern. I just refer to it as the blues pattern. That sounds like this normally. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But our lead guitar part will actually extend into the first eighth note of bar 2. Therefore, we will have to chop that first note of the rhythm guitar pattern. So for our purposes, it will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that we've talked about the rhythm, let's look at the scales that we'll be using for this exercise. The first scale that we'll be using is the open E blues scale. This is the same as the minor pentatonic with the addition of the blue note. Next, we will be using the top 3 strings of the open E major pentatonic. And finally, we will be using the adjacent pattern of the E major pentatonic that fits over this octave shape. So these two notes are E, and we'll be using the pattern that lies over the top of these 2 octaves. This is generally referred to as the D pattern of the E major pentatonic for those of you who understand the caged system. Now that we've looked at the rhythm and the scales, let's go on to phrase 1. Triplet 2 and triplet triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The first triplet is a pull-off. We're using both notes from the major pentatonic and the blues scale. The next 2 eighth notes, 2 and, are major pentatonic. Then we have mixed pentatonic on this next triplet. It's got a pull-off. And then the next triplet is the same thing. We're using the blue note here. And then we end on the root E. And go into the rhythm guitar accompaniment pattern. And 2, and 3, and 4, and. Here's phrase 2. Triplet 2 and triplet triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The first triplet uses the major pentatonic scale, and we have a hammer on here. Then we're using a double stop that uses both major and minor pentatonic notes. So we have this, and we're going to give it just a little quarter bend, and this takes up beat 2 and. And then we have 2 triplets at the end of the bar. Triplet. Okay, so that's a mix of pentatonic. Triplet, and the next triplet is also a mix of both pentatonics. And then we end on 1, and that's our root E. Back to the accompaniment pattern. And 2, and 3, and 4, and triplet 2 and triplet, triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The first triplet uses the blues scale. We have a pull off, and then we have 2 and, still blues scale. And then the last 2 triplets are the same, and they use a mix of both a major and minor pentatonic. And we end on the open G, which happens to be a chord tone of A7. It's the 7 on the A7th chord. Then we go into the rhythm guitar accompaniment pattern, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Here's phrase 4. So we're going to start off in the open blues scale with a pull-off. So that's our first triplet. 2 and is still in the blues scale. And the last 2 triplets use primarily the major pentatonic, although we're going to start on this note, for that's from the minor pentatonic. Triplet, triplet. We got a little bend there. And then we're going to end on the root E and go into our rhythm guitar accompaniment pattern. And 2, and 3, and 4, and on to phrase 5. Triplet 2 and triplet, triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The first triplet uses the open blues scale. The 2 and uses still the blues scale. Then we're remaining in the blues scale with a bend. And then this triplet, still in the blues scale. Now I'm ending on beat 1. Notice how I use my index finger here because I need to get over for my rhythm guitar accompaniment on the B chord. So I need my first finger here, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So notice how I end my lead guitar phrase on the root B. That's because we're going to the B chord, and I have to be able to finger this. Let's look at the last phrase. Triplet 2 and triplet, triplet 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this lick is pretty easy. It's all blues scale, open blues scale, and we start with a bend here on the first triplet, and then we have 2 and we come right down the scale for the last triplets, ending on the root E and into the accompaniment pattern, and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's it for rhythm exercise in the key of E number 5. I'm Kimberly Allison from Starliner Music, and I hope to see you back on my channel soon.